It's my pleasure to welcome you all to Nexdigm's podcast with the theme of Food Processing Industry, a Sunrise Sector. I'm your host, KS Narayan, Principal Advisor, Food Processing at Nexdigm. Through this podcast, we aim to offer crisp, insightful episodes on emerging developments in the food processing sector in India during short conversations with leaders from the industry. In today's episode, we will be focused on understanding the dairy sector, its contribution, what are the potential opportunities, challenges, trends emerging in the sector, and much, much more. With that, I now warmly welcome Mr. Sodhi, President of the Indian Dairy Association. Mr. Sodhi has had an illustrious career leading Amul from a small cooperative operation to a modern dairy heavyweight, probably one of the world's largest cooperative today and an extremely large FMCG player in the Indian market. He was instrumental in Amul to maintain its leadership status and ensuring it becomes India's largest FMCG company during his career of over 35, 38 years in Amul. So, Mr. Sodhi, thank you for joining us today. You had a long and distinguished career, and let's begin by throwing some light on your journey spanning over 3 decades at Amul. Over to you, Mr. Sodhi.
Yeah. Thank you, Shri K.S. Narayan for giving this opportunity to share my thought in this podcast. You said sunrise sector. Food.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Food sunrise sector. Let me tell you, food is a sunrise sector from since the human civilization.
Wow.
It was, it is, and it will be till we human being have got the stomach.
Very interesting.
So, I was very fortunate that I had started my career in the food and ended in food.
Wow.
I have a project to work in the food sector or dairy sector for more than 4 decades.
That's truly amazing.
So, 1982, I joined Amul.
Yeah.
Immediately after passing out from IRMA.
Wow.
And that time Amul was, no doubt, that time Amul was a known brand.
Yeah.
And our turnover was 121 crore.
Right.
And we were collecting only 1.2 million liters of milk per day. And today, Amul is around 72,000 crore rupees FMCG or food brand or dairy brand.
Yeah.
And collecting and processing around 30 million liters of milk per day.
Wow.
So I have seen in the last more than 4 decades how not only destiny of Amul or the brand or organization chain, but how destiny of a category like dairy has changed, and how Amul or the white revolution changed the destiny of billions of rural households.
Oh.
So it has been a very interesting journey. Seeing industry from a totally unorganized to how it has shifted to the organized sector. Food sector, which was mainly low and unbranded, has now largely into food is a branded or a paid category. So very interesting journey of last 4 decades. And last 13 years I was the managing director from 2010 to 2023.
Wow.
So when I took over, Amul's turnover was in 2010 around 8,000 crore. And when I left, it was 72,000 crore per annum.
Wow.
This is in short my journey.
Wow. Truly fabulous. I think these are what legendary stories are made of. And I think you are truly there from about 1.2 million liters per day in 82 to 30 million liters. And again, during over the last 12 years, growing turnover by about 9x. I think fabulous. I don't think there is a better spokesman than for the whole dairy industry and for the country and for the dairy category than you. I think truly salam to you, sir, and hats off to you. Truly, The dairy sector has indeed grown leaps and bounds in the last 3 to 4 decades, as you've just shared. But where do you see is the next step in the evolution, and what do you think should be the industry's vision for the same? We've really come a long way with white revolution, and today billions of people today, it's the daily staple food, daily income for the farmers and so on. So where do you see is the next step in the evolution of this whole category and this industry?
Well, I think dairy sector will continue to grow like in the past, because every 25 years, our milk production multiplies 3 times.
Okay.
I mean, 50 years back, it was around 24 million metric ton. Then about 25 years back, it was around 73 or 74 million metric ton. Today it is 230, 231 last year the data.
Yeah.
And every 25 years, besides the milk production, consumption also multiplies 2x every 25 years.
Okay.
50 years back, it was 110 gram per person, and today it is around 460.
Okay.
So, by going very, very conservative figure, I mean, if average taking a CAGR of 4.5%,
yeah,
by another 25 years or by 2047, or we call it Amrit Kal, India will be producing 628 million metric ton, 45% of world milk production. Today we are producing 24% of world milk production.
Okay.
So that is the growth plan. I mean, if value-wise I talk, today GV of gross value addition in dairy is around 14 lakh crore.
Wow.
As per the latest Ministry of Environment data.
Right.
Out of that 10 lakh crore is the milk.
Yeah.
3 lakh crore is the feed and other input industry.
Right.
And 1 lakh crore is the biofertilizer industry, the young and other things.
Got it.
And it is going at a double digit. So, as such, I don't foresee any reason for any de-acceleration of growth. There are two reasons.
Yeah.
One is India has developed this dairy industry. Reason is very simple: a very, very efficient supply chain, right from farmer to the consumer.
Yeah.
The one side, farmer is getting a very stable and remunerative price.
Yeah.
70 to 80% what consumer pays.
Yeah.
The other side, consumer is getting a very nutritious, pure, natural product available at a very, very affordable price, and very well available wherever he or she wants. So when you, in any food supply chain, if you keep these main two stakeholders satisfied or happy, so farmer will continue to produce more by investing more, and because they don't need land for this. And other agriculture need more. And the other side, consumer will continue to buy more because now they are getting more prosperous. They have got more money in the pockets, and income elasticity for the food is more than one. So naturally, they spend more.
Got it.
And so, and other reason for the is that today we have got 1.41 billion people, which will be around 1.65 billion by 2047.
Right.
So with more money in their pocket, so market is going to be there. Also, if you see over last 25 or 50 years,
right,
consumer is upgrading their food from mainly cereal-based or carbohydrates right to the more protein and fat based diet, and that too animal source. It can be milk, it can be poultry, it can be fishes, and also the fruits and the vegetable. If I give you data, I'm giving too much of data. Okay.
No, that's impressive. The
last 50 years, you see, last 50 years, if you see, our population has multiplied 2.5 times. Food production has multiplied by 4 times. The cereal production has multiplied by 2.8 times.
Right.
Milk has multiplied by 10 times.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm.
Fruits and vegetables 6.5 times.
Right.
Poultry 23 times. Fisheries 12 times. So you can see
Yes.
where food is going.
So the nature
why
of
I give you
consumption
data?
is changing. Right.
Because of more money, more prosperity,
Yes.
you are going to spend more on protein and fat, and
Correct.
that
Then
one side animal based, and second is the fruits and vegetables. So all
Right.
these factors are
Yeah.
responsible for the growth of Indian dairy sector and also for the future of the Indian
Perfect.
dairy sector. Yeah.
No, I think what you have said is truly fascinating. I think very rarely in the world, and even I have not come across, where you have such an efficient supply chain where almost 70 to 80% goes to the farmer. And at the same time, the consumer gets it at the most economical, the best value for money offering and outstanding world-class products. So I think it's really a tailor made for success. And as you rightly said, with growing prosperity, when population has gone up by double or triple, whereas your consumption has gone up on dairy products by almost 10 times. Truly fascinating, and the whole nature of consumption is also changing big time. In fact, that's actually yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you see, this business strategy or business model is true for any business. I mean, you give more to the main stakeholders, they'll be happy. They'll continue to earn business. One side production, other side consumption. So your business will grow. So I can say in dairy industry, we give more to earn more.
Yes. No, I think it's truly fascinating because many other times we see that many a times the farmers don't get remunerative pricing, and as a result, then it gets into a vicious loop. Whereas the way Amul and the whole cooperative sector has put this, it becomes a virtuous loop, and with consumption growing, production is growing, and it keeps growing steadily. Truly fascinating. In fact, which leads me to the next question. We've seen the whole consumption. People are spending more on fat and protein, etc. The dairy industry is also seeing a shift in consumption from milk to processed milk products. It could be cheese, paneer, ice cream, whey protein, blah, 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 blah. Now, do you see this growth to sustain in the next 5-10 years also?
One thing you have to understand, shift is happening mainly in dairy for the last few decades from unorganized, unpacked or unbranded to branded side.
Yes.
And the biggest segment which has grown in the last few decades is the fresh milk, fresh curd, fresh buttermilk, and the other value-added dairy products. So, in any diet, 70% in dairy industry, 70% will be the fresh product. And the remaining all products will be 30%.
Got it.
Okay. And when you say process, I mean, I don't know to call it. Really, when you say milk, it is not processed. It is because pasteurized and packed. You're not adding anything. It's not like any other processed food which you are talking.
Got it.
Yeah. So, but I feel in the coming time and in the most of the other world developed countries, when your income increases, you start using, besides the milk, other products of milk, be it butter, ghee, cheese, paneer, ice cream. So percentage of that increases. So what we feel is today, if it is 75% of fresh product or milk and remaining product at 25, tomorrow ratio may change. But let me also tell you, in other also so-called value-added product, again, fresh product contribution is going to increase. Fresh paneer, fresh cheese, fresh fresh sweets. Now these are the categories. Because in food, gone are the days when consumers used to prefer 1 year shelf life, 6 months shelf life.
Yes, correct.
So now consumer wants to have, no doubt, branded, packed, tasty product, but they want fresh product. They want
Yes,
not more than 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days.
absolutely.
So now technology is also available, packaging
Got it.
is also available, and so is the logistics also available. Our
Yes,
cold chain is also available to take
got it.
care of fresh products. So
Got it.
future is more of fresh dairy products.
Got it. So I think that's a very valuable insight in terms of, because clearly the natural tendency for consumers is to go for fresh. And dairy is one industry which has been able to deliver that consistently 365 days, 24 by 7. I think that's the important thing. And you set up a system to do that and deliver that, which not many other industries or categories are able to do that. I think that's truly fabulous, and we are able to do great thing on that. But with this sort of growth which is expected in the industry in the coming days, what could be the challenges the industry can face? Is it in terms of technology, people, process? But where do you see challenges, if at all, that the industry should brace up to and sort of look at this whole area of
I don't know.
continues?
You see, I'm not very sure what you mean by industry, because generally for any investors or investment community, industry starts from the plant factory.
Yes,
But for us, industry starts from the farmer's
that's right.
house.
Yes,
So biggest challenge which we are facing dairy industry is you can't afford continuous increase in the prices.
yes,
I mean, because if you want today, if we 231 and we want by 25 years, consumer should consume, if not 628, 510 million metric ton. Or today, 460 gram per person is consuming. What we want is that another 25 years, they should consume around 850 gram. But that is only possible if we continue to keep dairy and milk affordable.
yes,
And that is only possible by reducing the cost of milk production. And cost of milk production can be reduced by better productivity of the per animal.
and yield has to go up.
Yield has to go, and feed cost has to be reduced.
Moderate.
So our first biggest challenge is how to improve the productivity by better feeding and breeding. And actually, if you want to increase the yield, you have to go for better feed. So that is the one thing.
Yes.
And second is that we have to see that how, besides the feed and breed, because in dairy industry, after the feeding cost, other is the energy cost and packaging cost. How to take care of that thing.
Got it.
And other is how to ensure that next generation continues with the milk production. You see, what happens is,
that's an important thing, yes.
because today, out of 1.42 billion, 68 are our population, and 32 is the urban population. The way migration is happening, urbanization is happening, another 25 years, we'll be having 50% people in rural India and 50% urban India.
Urban India.
So means we'll be having more mouths to feed and less hands to produce food.
Yes, got it.
So that is it. And third is this sustainability, etc., what is being talked everywhere.
Correct. That's it.
How to make dairy? Actually, dairy in India, dairy which is smallholder based, is the most efficient and sustainable dairy cycle. It's a circular economy because plants, agriculture, human being and animal each depend on each other, and we are feeding to the animal what is left over after human consumption or the feed. And also all the dung etc. is being used as a biofertilizer in India.
Correct.
So very sustainable, but definitely we have to communicate to everybody, all the policy
Got
makers
it.
in the sector.
Got
And
it.
third is how to ensure that supply chain efficiencies of dairy value chain are maintained. Because
Yes.
with the coming of more consumerism and more of corporates and other things,
Mm.
I feel that supply chain efficiencies should not reduce.
Got it. No, I think you summed it up beautifully by saying that, I mean, it's part of a circular economy, clearly. And with on the greater urbanization, we certainly have the whole FMCG market type of branded market all growing. But at the same time, you need to improve your productivity and through better breeding, better feeding, and energy packaging cost, etc. And I think you raised a very important point in terms of the next generation should continue in dairy farming. And that's again truly a big challenge which is there and we do that. But the other thing is that now going forward, do you see a lot many more private enterprises also coming into the sector? That could be domestic, Indian, international, whatever it is, or it's only lot more of cooperatives that is there, or should it be a mix of both?
See, let me tell you first, the opportunity of organized dairy plants and processing are a lot.
Yes.
Today, out of the around 63 crore liter what milk is produced, only 12 crore liter is coming in the organized sector. But
Okay.
it's growing. Another 25 years, another 7 years, by 2030, this organized dairy processing will be around 24 crore liters per day.
Double ho jayega.
Double. And for the 12 crore liter, when you new processing capacities which will be coming, investment will be generally in case of dairy plant will be around 60,000 crore. Because 12 crore multiplied by 5, around 60,000 crore. Another 40,000 crore will be in the backward value chain, that is the bulk milk cooler, milking machine, other thing. And another 40,000 crore will be in the new animals. So 1,40,000 crore investments are going to come. And this 12 crore liter is going to create around 72 lakhs jobs.
Wow.
In urban and the rural sector.
Got it.
And as far as talking about private and the cooperative, let me tell you, still only 1/3 of the market is organized. Gaining ample opportunity, lot of space for everybody to grow. In today, cooperatives are got around 55 to 60%, 45% in the private sector. There are few states where private sector is doing extremely well.
Got it.
But what has happened? Cooperatives are setting the milestones, or not milestone, benchmarks.
Yes.
Benchmark. So private has to match that.
Absolutely.
And that is the reason. That is the reason in India, farmer is able to get 70 to 80%. Vis-a-vis the other dairy-rich Western countries, farmer gets only 1/3 of what consumer pays. And that is the reason none of the...
They are not able to grow.
No, that is why all the foreign companies who had to come to India, they failed.
Yes.
Because they are not able to match the supply chain efficiency of Indian companies or cooperatives.
Correct. No, I think it was truly fabulous in terms of numbers and data that you have said. I think over 1 lakh crore of plus investment to come in, 72 lakh jobs to be created. And clearly there is an ample opportunity for everyone to grow and build on this whole thing. So I think with these few words, Mr. Sodhi, it's been an absolute pleasure hearing your thoughts on the industry. It was truly fact-filled, lots of numbers, data points. You truly are a supercomputer as far as all of that goes. And I'm sure our listeners will find this episode insightful too. Thank you for taking the time and joining us on this podcast. Do you have any last few words for our listeners?
No, I can say that the dairy industry has got a lot of opportunity, but this industry has got, because you are talking to investors,
Mhm.
please expect low percentage-wise EBITDA, but overall EBITDA will be higher.
Got it. So it's a business of scale.
Yes.
Great. So I think, thank you very much, Mr. Sodhi, and it's been for taking the time and joining us on this podcast. And thank you everyone for listening in. If you have any questions on this subject or have any suggestions for future topics, write to us at thinknext@nextdime.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. K. Thank you very much.